So we're back to champion select for game two. Um, tactic Zealot Gaming on the blue side this time around. Tactical Gaming on purple side.
Yeah. So they switched teams up, obviously best of three. So if TG were to win this one, they would take the move through straight to the finals, and ZG would have to play another semi-finals against Convict Gaming. But yeah, I think after game one, okay, both teams played very well. I don't really have a lot of criticism to make against either team. Yes, ZG lost, but they played their team comp very well.
Honestly, I
Doing that.
felt like top lane was a bit of a strange thing going. Vladimir was taking a lot of fights that he didn't necessarily need to, and
Yeah.
just kept getting caught out of position without a minion wave against Rise, who just kept instantly aggressing on him. At
And
this
that
point,
rise
we
was
can
pretty
see the
impactful.
Rise was very effective in that game, so it is actually pulling a ban here from Zero Gaming.
Oh, there you
They
go.
are
Out he goes.
respecting.
Hey, you live and you learn, right?
Yeah.
That being said, right, TG, yes, the pressure was on them in game one because of their team comp and because it falls off late game, right? But I think both Baron fights that they started weren't great. The second one won them the game, sure, but the execution of both of them could have been done better. The first one, they lost a massive amount in exchange for the Baron. Yes, the pressure helped them, but I feel like it could have been done slightly better.
Yeah, Zero
Um,
Gaming actually overextended a bit there. They went for the second turret and got one person killed and lost full control of their bottom side jungle and lost the Drake. I felt like
mhm.
they should have just backed up from mid lane at that point. They got a good amount of damage on the inner turret. It's not going to regen anytime soon. So
Mhm.
just go to Drake, get that objective, push them away from your jungle, secure your jungle vision, and
But that's pretty standard on any team, right? Once you've gone for an objective, you've been punished badly for it. You've lost 2 towers, you've lost 3 of your team for nothing. You've got Baron, sorry, and you've seen them drive that far down your lane. You're kind of feeling like, right now we need to get something. So you've taken our mid turret, so let's answer and take their mid turret. But you're right. I think it was a little bit thirsty by them. We're going to see Annie and the Ari
Ari,
picked up
yeah,
again.
picked up again.
So that's good.
Apparently, they're not scared of any matchup for this Ari. They do pick her very early on in the draft.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, she roams very well, Ari, as a champion. So if you're getting absolutely manhandled in lane, you have other options. There are some mid laners that roam better than others, and Ari is up there in terms of ability to roam. Um, so yeah, plus like the Annie pick coming in, theoretically, I mean, she's not the
This
best
should be
support,
just
but
a ton of pressure on bot lane. Ani Ari is an incredibly strong combo
yeah.
early on in the game. The I saw Rammus being covered over there, and my jungler senses were getting a bit tinglish. I really wanted to say okay, but
Okay.
we won't see it yet. Aurelia gets covered over. That's something
Ooh,
that I would like
there it
to
is.
see.
It's
Yeah,
locked.
it is locked in. It's actually an incredibly strong pick, especially into CC. She doesn't have the best matchup against Maokai. Maokai can actually snowball in that lane
Hmm.
because of the fact that he just builds HP and cooldown reduction in the form of Frozen Heart. And just itemization wise, he counters Aurelia.
I really hope we do see a jungle Heimerdinger.
Oh, I doubt that.
If this was the LCS, this is where all the fans are going, yeah. Although
Yeah,
perhaps now it's Jungle Maokai with an R top.
we'll see.
We'll see.
It might be Jungle Maokai. I would expect it more so than a Jungle Nar, honestly. The
Perhaps it's
problem
something
with
they're trying.
Maokai is
Meta breaking.
he's actually very high on the mana cost within the jungle.
Yeah.
That's why he's not a top pick for jungling. He just needs that lane sustain from Dorm's Ring and the Catalyst.
Yeah, until he gets a few items and gets rolling, it's pretty difficult. But we have seen. Okay, we're getting another glimpse at Smite mid Ezreal. We'll see whether he picks up the purple item for the wave clear again, like we saw last game, and use that sustain to stay in the lane against Ari. The thing is, last time I liked Zealot's pick of Azir. It did really well. The damage was great. Put a lot of pressure on the Ari. I arguably won the lane against the Ari. When it's the same two summoners playing the same two champions and you beat them once, you must feel pretty confident in your ability to beat them again. So Unless we're going to see something incredible from this Ezreal, I would question the change there. But what do
I
I know?
honestly don't know why they decided to go for a different composition here.
I don't know either.
Picking up the method, the flavor of the month, Ezreal Smite, Runeblade mid lane is, yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like
why not?
they are a bit desperate-ish here, even though they got the premier bot lane. Kalista Thresh is just
That's it.
incredibly strong.
It's my favorite. I've said it a lot over the past 2 days. Thresh is one of my favorite supports. With Kalista, one of my favorite combinations to play Thresh in, because all of their kit synergizes beautifully. Okay, he's ranged, but he's also tanky, right? So unlike the other range, so your Annies and your Jannas and your Namis, he's strong enough to move in and go melee, but he can also execute from long range and proc the W passive that Kalista gives. Also, the Lantern plus ulti thing that they can do at level 6 is ridiculous, where Thresh can chuck his lantern at Kalista, get ulted in, then jump backwards to his turret, Kalista clicks the lantern, suddenly both of them at the tower within like half a second. It's ungankable and just all round good.
Yeah, you can't focus either of them. Like you
Yeah.
either go for the Thresh Lantern or the Kalista Hootie. It's a very hard lane to gank.
Yeah, it's just a great lane to be playing in. I really enjoy it. Also love Gnar. I was actually at a game the other night and discovered why Gnar is such a contested pick in the LCS. Right, a 5-man Gnar ulti into one of your own towers is one of the most OP things I've ever witnessed. it's high damage. It's a stun into another stun into a slow. Gnar is just so strong if you can control his mega, and when he transitions, he's a great champion. But I'm just not good enough to play him, sadly.
The thing is, the only thing that I dislike about Zeld Gaming's picks here is really the Maokai jungle. The Ezreal mid lane kind of fits into the general idea following up on a Naruto, but it could have been better. It could have been an Orianna, let's say, which is, as we know, the wombo combo. And then
And
Maokai,
with a Gnar,
I simply don't see a reason to pick up Maokai instead of, let's say, a Sejuani or a Gragas, if you just want that really big frontliner.
and they were both open as well.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So it is kind of a strange pick here. Tactical Gaming still go for the Hecarim jungle, which seems to serve a very good purpose for them. They feel confident on him being a third threat on their composition.
don't get me wrong. Like Hecarim did some great work last game in terms of transitioning into that mid to late game split pusher, even without the TP ignite. Still great ultis, used Ghost to get into great positions. So he played the team purpose of Hecarim perfectly. What I didn't like was he was against an Amumu in the jungle right early on, and we spoke about the advantage that Hecarim gives in the top lane in terms of being able to bully your opponents off CS. So you're gaining gold and they're losing it, right? And if you're going to pick him in the jungle, you need to be able to fulfill that same role, right? You need to use your early game strength as a bruiser to get into the enemy jungle and take money away from them if you're not going to gank. And he didn't against Amumu, who is one of the weakest early game junglers available, right? So if he failed to do that against a Mumu, how's he going to do it against a Maokai?
Yeah, that's the problem though. Maokai isn't that much better than Amumu. Both of them are just tier 2 junglers at this point. They're not strong enough to compete with Hecarim's carry ability. I don't know.
But even then, like if we didn't see it against the Amumu, I doubt we'll see much of it this game, in terms of being able to get into the enemy jungle and
Yeah,
put the pressure.
I don't expect him to invade that much. Honestly, it was a bit of a like every now and then I can just take a camp from Mumu wherever I can.
You can do that on literally any jungler against any jungler. Oh, I've seen him bot quickly ninja race. It wasn't a solid part of his plan, a part of his early game gameplay, and that's what I really think he should be doing when you're picking that Hecarim, especially against a weaker Mumu early game. You need to get in and commit to residing in the enemy jungle, robbing him of the gold, bullying him off the camps, keeping him low, and making sure that every gank that Amumu committed to, he was losing everything from one side of his jungle. And yeah, I just hope that perhaps he's a bit more confident in this game, and perhaps he makes more use of it. But anyway, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Anyway, it'll make for a more exciting game but perhaps not in TG's diamond level strat. And the game is loaded in.
Yeah, we should be getting into the game shortly. The other thing that was missing from last game was an invade level 1 fight, so I feel like that might change here, given that we have both Annie and Thresh on the two respective teams. Annie's Ari is actually a very easy to follow up on, and Aurelia can she usually starts in lane against a melee champion anyway.
It may have just been a question of respect though, because both these teams are good. They've done great things so far, and
I feel like they were just trying to feel each other out, see how their compositions fare.
Yeah, and the compositions have changed a bit, but not massively. So perhaps now that TG have got a win under the belt, they wanna just sneak in and have a look this time. Maybe get an invade, look for any lane swaps. Perhaps they are just gonna go defensive again. Annie is recalling, so I don't think there will be an invade from TG. But CG perhaps. No, it doesn't look like it. They're just going to ward up and sneaking around. But that's two. It's not going to be a committed invade. They're just going to drop.
They're just dropping wards defensively.
Yeah,
they agreed on just sitting this one back.
Yeah, pretty much. So ZG this game are obviously in blue and TG are in the red. So we'll have to see if just being on a different side of the map make a difference. I don't think it does.
No, not really.
Some people say that like lane flow in the bot lane matters for skill shots, and some people I've met down in bronze and silver can't hit skill shots if they're on one side of the map versus the other. But I don't think it makes a massive amount of difference. Oh, there goes the mastery spam. I can't wait until Riot make it so that the enemy team can see your mastery spam. That's going to be a good day for League of Legends.
I think that's just a homage to the viewers of the stream. It's more of a, hey guys, don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. I've played this champion well. You're in for a treat here, yeah.
Next level hooks incoming. Yeah. Okay, and we're off. I'm just going to see a bit of casual CSing. It's a bit early for any aggression. So last game, obviously, it was very clear that TG had a mid-game aggro comp, and they had a kind of timer on them to close the game out. With the changes they made to their champion roster, they've got Annie now instead of the Janna, and they've got an Aurelia instead of the Vlad. So does it make any difference? Is their game plan going to change at all, or are they still looking for that early to mid game? Do they scale better or worse than ZG? I mean, what's the plan for them this game?
Aurelia has a very strong spike mid game, so I feel like what Tactical Gaming want to do here is they want to pick up that mid game fight again. Even though Kalista has a spike in the mid game, even though Maoka is very strong in the mid game, come late game, Ezreal is going to one-shot someone. That's just a given. Yep. Ezreal damage just gets out of control in like the Ezreal mid lane. So it's more of a, let's not force ourselves to a situation where we have to dodge his OT and hope for the best.
But perhaps ZG this time have kind of learned that TG are not a team that's going to let you get to the late game, right? If you've picked a team,
that's what we see here. They really did turn their composition more into the mid game. Both Nara and Kalista are very strong mid game.
Oh, stun comes down from Annie. Just going to take a bit of effect on the push. Yeah, so this time they've edited it a bit and said, you know what, fine. TG, they're not going to let us get to the point where Jinx can get a pentakill with flash crits from a rocket. We're going to pick up 3 mid-game champions. Gnar scales well into late game. Ezreal scales well into late game. Thresh is useful at all points of the game. So, yes, we're going to be better when it gets to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes even, whatever late game is. But we're also going to fight now. So Gnar taking a couple of tower hits there, just going a little too aggressive on the Aurelia, taking a lot of damage. I think Maokai's near the top lane, but the wave's just too shoved in. He's going to transition and try and get into the front bush here. Pretty good technique for junglers that are watching the stream. If you know there's no ward in that bush, you can just reposition yourself, and then as soon as the wave counter pushes, they're going to come out and try and re-establish some vision control, and you're going to take a lot of damage. Hook comes in from Thresh. He's not going to overcommit to it though. The play does come down.
Not sure if that was a desired hook there. Kalista survives by the skin of her teeth. I think that was single digits again. Very close calls in this bot lane. We've seen time and again both games, both bot laners opted in for very early playmaking.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Annie is, right, yes, she can poke with her Q, but the W has much less damage. So for her to get the full load of her damage off, she needs to get a bit closer.
Yeah.
And when the enemy Thresh flays you, tower dive there from Hecarim.
And not even close. Man, very well executed turret dive.
Beautiful. Level 4, that's some ballsy plays there.
That also seems to be something that they have practiced as well, because that was a very conscious choice of calling Hecarim into the bot lane and getting, I believe now that Annie got engaged on intentionally. She wasn't just a random hook there. She did want to proactively trade in the lane.
Yeah, well, very well played by them. Might be a strat that I try and use in my ranked games.
That was something that I did not really expect Aurelia to do. She kind of gave up the CS turret there to go and trade in with Nar, who was in Mega Nar form. That's generally not what you want to do because he has that extra resistances. But
just I mean, that's the annoying thing about Nar, because you can run aggressive masteries if you choose and aggressive runes if you choose. Go 21-9, run some damage or some armor pen or whatever you want, and then just don't trade when. Nice
this
little
is
jump
not going
there.
to be enough.
No, very close though.
But
The flash is going to come down. He's going to come back in though.
No, I don't think he has any significant threat. He's more of a showing off, trying to act as if Maokai is on that side of the map, but it won't turn into anything. Aurelia has her ulti up and she's not scared. Maokai simply doesn't have enough damage to be scary enough.
Oh, Annie going in there for a Q, but Sivir just had already backed off. Annie taking half a HP after her back and comes back into lane, already pretty weak. Do you see the Maokai waiting in that bush there to re-engage this, although there is now a ward in the front bush, so he's not going to be able to move forward.
Yeah, Maokai is in a bit of a no man's land situation here where he kind of wants to gank this, but he also knows that there is ward coverage everywhere. So but the hook connects and this is going to be a Q secured.
Oh, but the teleport is coming in from Aurelia. Her ulti is up, as we said. She's going to cancel that.
No, she's just going to cancel that. There's no way they will get anything off of that. The Ezreal ulti also comes in. The attempted snipe from mid lane. That's also something that seems to be practiced a lot.
We saw that a couple of games ago.
Yeah.
If you can't win your lane with Ezreal, fine, I'm going to pick up some early game kills by blasting this off to a different lane, seeing what happens. If there's no use for it in lane, there's no harm in it. I mean, it's going to come back and cool down. You don't really need it to trade in lane, hopefully. So, yeah. Really well played there by Zealot Gaming, though. Thresh just, again, showing why he's such a contested pick at all levels of play. So what their rewards, I'm going to hook you, and then my jungler's going to dash 1,000,000 feet through the Thresh Express.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice. Kalista just hopping backwards, doing Kalista things. But you see the Hecarim coming in again from behind. He's going to connect
this is going to be one that Thresh? Or is it? No. Thresh actually shows why he's a contested pick and ban Doilos.
That's why he's got the mastery, isn't it? We saw this earlier.
He did warn us to be careful about.
Unfortunately, the enemy team couldn't see it. Now we see Maokai coming to back up his team, and he does have stun up, just waiting for level 6. You must be pretty close. I think
he's just there for show, just to make sure that Kalista and Thresh can take this with safety and just base here.
Yeah, and away they go.
Prevent any ideas that Annie and Sivir might be having here.
Although Kalista and Thresh have decided to stay for another wave. I'll just quickly check the gold on Kalista. It might be a conscious decision. She's got 1,500, so she can actually get that Bilgewater Cutlass, but perhaps they just don't.
I think she wants to base on a BF sword here. She's maxing Q, she's maxing Pierce, and in that situation you kind of want to go for a BF sword and a Bloodthirster first into.
Yeah, well, the extra gold has tipped her into the 1.6k, so she can now afford that Bloodthirster and hop back to base, and then hop back to lane with the increased damage. Sivir sitting on a little less because she doesn't have the kill, but still a reasonable amount. She has 1.2k, so I think Sivir's going to use the time when Kalista's away just to farm up a couple more waves, maybe get some damage done on the tower before
she doesn't really want to back here on 1200. That's not. That's not an amount you can really do much with. But Ari picks up a lonesome kill on Maokai. He just... That was strange play by Maokai. I don't know
I think he
if
just
that
got
was just
caught in the
Ezreal
river.
not calling miss. He maybe didn't pay attention to the fact that Ari went away.
I think, if I'm not... She had literally just backed? No, because she's got 1,000 gold in her
No,
bank.
no, no.
Maybe
She,
Ezreal thought...
she just pushed the wave up and went roaming. And I guess Maokai did not respect the Ari burst at this point.
That's what we said, right? Ari has great roam potential, and sure enough, she was bored in mid and just decided to wander up into the jungle where she caught Maokai. I think because of the ward that TG have up by top side, they caught the Maokai come out.
That was the reason. The thing is,
Yeah.
we spoke about this earlier. Like picking Ezreal in the mid lane, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage that you don't have enough wave clear early on. And
Yeah.
in this situation, Ezreal opted to go for Skirmisher Saber because he is in a matchup against an assassin. That's the big problem here. He needs to get that mini exhaust on Ari,
Yep.
right? So she can just cue the wave, push him in, and then he has to spend a lot more time just pushing back, and she has the wrong potential. That's the thing you're giving up in the mid game or the early to mid game for the incredible burst that Ezreal has late game and the option to just one-shot someone being an AP
And
Ezreal.
when we did see the Ari last game against the Azir, didn't have the same opportunities because Azir's wave clear is obviously very strong. So Ari cleared the wave, Azir cleared the wave, and then they both kind of just sat looking at each other for a bit, and just she didn't have the opportunity. Ari now obviously has double buff. Ezreal had to use his ulti there to burn it out. Hecarim is going to go top again, but we'll see the jump, and he's about to go mega. But not soon enough for this fight, so I think he's just going to...
This is
dance around.
this is a bit of a Hecarim just trying to zone Nara away from the experience that the turret wall already is freezing. But
But hey, this... Hecarim,
Zell
so the
Gaming got
dragon.
Drake for it, so it is a worthwhile exchange.
Kallista's such a great champion to have at the Dragon and Baron fights because obviously her Ren stacks can do more than anything else in the game if you give her enough time to build them up. Even Cho'Gath Feasts can get outsmited by that spear. So yeah, just really well played. Making use of that Ren damage to pick up an easy, uncontested dragon.
12 minutes into the game, really nothing much between these two sides. They're
200 gold in it, 2
200
kills.
go in it, just one break part, and basically 2 and 2.
All good. TP is going in from top lane though.
Yeah, again
flash
cancelled.
shot's not connected.
Nar did not have ulti, that was again more of a let's scare them away kind of thing. He was not prepared for this
Oh,
call,
they're coming
but
back in.
they try to re-engage and they get punished again. I guess that's fair. Maokai does have the point and click incredible amount of CC that he brings, and he can just take the
Interestingly,
fresh
though-
lantern and get in there.
They're not using that to engage though. Yeah, it was
the
actually
thing
the
is,
Thresh Q
Gragas
that
also
connected.
has a very good CC.
But then it was the Thresh Q that connected, and Maokai looks like he... Oh no, his ult's going to come up and they're both going to back out. Yeah, as I was saying, though, it was the Thresh Q that connected that time for the kill. So yes, Maokai has that
Oh,
great
but
point.
yeah,
of click
but the
stun.
thing
This
is,
Thresh doesn't need it.
The Thresh follow-up was on just Maokai pressing Twisted Advance on a target and locking him down. There is no way to miss the Thresh Q at that situation. Like, and here's the Aurelia from
now
behind.
has Brad teleport.
Yeah,
It's worked into the back line.
The
Six
scariest
kills.
Aurelia is the one you don't see.
Even I didn't see that. I was too
Yeah.
busy watching the trading. I was like, okay, hey, where the hell did you come from? Finally, on the third TP, she commits and gets bot lane. Picking up a kill. Gold again, 100 gold in it. Ezreal's damage is starting to pick up though. That was a good bit of damage she got on there. Aurelia obviously has a long way to walk up top lane now, so going through mid to try and pick up another kill.
Oh, it's slow.
Globe will go down. There goes the flash into
Might
the fear.
be,
Hecarim
it
may
will
just-
be enough, yeah.
It will be, yeah. Hecarim's not afraid
pony.
to jump in towers.
Happily takes that kill for himself.
I think that's the third time that Hecarim has gone under a tower to secure a kill already at 13 minutes. So, yeah, a lot of aggression coming in from TG this game, perhaps. And Zelot Gaming, they were going to trade with the tower. It's like LCS, and it top goes down.
Yeah,
bottom goes down.
it won't go down at this point, but it will go down in subsequent pushes. Nara is very close to getting it, and there's not much Aurelia can do here. She doesn't have her ulti or any real threat on killing Nara at this point. She has to walk up and try to do something, but
Saying that the damage is coming in. His ult is on cooldown.
Oh, well, it will be up very shortly. She can
There it is.
follow up with this, yeah.
What do you reckon? Does Gnar have flash? He does, so we could see the Gnar insect come in.
No, he should.
Ezreal's coming
Or
top.
unless oh, that was
Oh,
close.
he misses, but there's the
Yeah,
ulti.
but it's gonna be enough.
There we go.
The damage was just barely enough.
Missed the ult, but there we go. Hecarim is going to hard engage in the bot lane.
Meanwhile,
Pushes
bot
people up
lane,
like Kalista
bot lane.
is going to go down.
It's actually
And
gonna
they're
be
just gonna pick up the
cleaning
farm
house
from
here.
Just rotating again. They're coming. There's
Yeah.
4 people saying, right, bot lane's tower's about to go down. They're struggling. Let's relieve the pressure a bit. Ezreal had no ult to assist, and yeah, down they went. There's no tower for TG here, but they're just going to farm up. Ari may let this one go down. Nope.
That's the real strength of their engage though. We saw both
Ooh, the tower
Sivir ulti
connection.
connecting with Annie engage into 2 people. Just 4 people coming through lane. Ari ult burnt as well, and
TG's
just
bot
hard
lane actually
engaging
hasn't
on
stopped
this
yet.
bot
They're
lane
Still pushing.
into 4 victory.
Yeah, I thought with the Hecarim ult straight in, it's just it's a very scary form of engage. The Ezreal ult will miss, so will the key. Either one of those probably would have ended Werewolf. Was Werewolf playing mid last game as well, or was he a Vladimir top?
I think he was playing mid lane. Yeah, I think Johnny was playing top lane. Don't quote me
Okay.
on that.
Yeah, I think we may have seen a role switch, but I'm not 100% sure. I know Aurora was definitely on the Hecarim before, and the bot lane hasn't changed, but
I'm sure
Maybe a
Twitch
switch
chat
on
is going to correct us if we're wrong here.
yeah. Oh, another beautiful Divers coming in on Alex, but he's just going to hop away. But in comes Aurelia. Here
It's
comes the Mega. You get him?
she
Oh,
should
there he
not
goes.
be able to kill him. He is a frontline damage. Maokai might have.
Maokai committed. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of gave his life for the
The
cause
thing
there.
was, Nah didn't actually need it. Like,
Yeah,
his ult
that was
just
that, yeah,
come
that
on.
was a bit of a miscommunication on Zilla
I
Gaming
think so.
side.
Although it's something that does happen in every team, where you see your
Yeah.
teammate get caught and in you go. You just
Well,
want
it was
to.
it was just a case of I think they did not realize that Ezreal was basically room and couldn't really follow up on that, and they didn't have any significant threat there. Their Kalista was bot lane shoving the lane out, so they couldn't really
Okay.
re-engage on that.
I was
visioning
actually
on the
massively
Gnar.
wrong, by the way, in my call of the rolling the switching roles between the Vlad and whatever. Vlad was actually on ZG's side, obviously.
Oh, okay,
and,
yeah.
Werewolf is playing for TG, so I'm being totally stupid. So totally ignore me. Thank you, Twitch chat. Okay, a little bit of a messy fight coming here. The Thresh landing beautiful hook still, but just his team unable to commit, and Kallista's overextended as well. There's 3 down for 1 there in TG's favour. Still fighting. Annie and Hecarim with the Ari very low. Ezra's still up. Aurelia's top lane, she just took it out. So that was actually a 4v5, in which TG picked up 3 kills for 1.
Yeah, once again,
how did
just
that
just picking their fights. They have the superior engage, and they. The problem here is Zelda Gaming just need way too much time to actually do the damage in the team fight. Kalista
Yeah.
needs to auto attack 7, 8, 10 times in order to get enough rend stacks onto a front line to kill him. Ezreal needs to pre-poke. Maokai doesn't do that much burst. Same for Gnar. They just have sustained damage and a lot of it, but that's the problem here. Burst is always better. If you can just burst down a target or 2 and get them out of the fight, there goes your sustained damage. It just drops down to insignificance.
This is something we saw in a game yesterday, though, wasn't it? With KG, I believe, picking up. Oh no, it may have been TG, in fact, picking up a very pokey comp.
No,
it
KG,
was
KG picked the Pokecomp with Ezreal's era. No,
Yeah,
it was
Jace.
Zera, Jace, top lane, Nidalee jungle, and I don't remember what the other carry was. I think it was Sivir.
I think it was Silver.
Yeah.
In that team comp, it's not that they're worse or bad even, but they're much harder to play. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're perhaps more rewarding and perhaps give you more options in terms of defensive and offensive plays, but they are more difficult to play.
When
And-
snowballing, you're very, very far ahead, but
Yeah.
the problem is getting to the snowballing part.
Yeah.
That's...
And if you can't get to that snowballing stage, oh, and there goes the locket. Not the locket, the coin.
Oh, and there's the wombo combo. The Ezreal was just incredibly massive in that fight. It went up through 4 people. this should be a very easy cleanup. They should not chase this Ari. I don't think
No need.
they
Take
can
the
kill her.
dragon.
Just
take
take
the
the
4
dragon.
kills. You've just
Yeah.
done beautiful, beautiful fight for ZG. And TG obviously really thirsty. It's gone so well for them in the past where they hard engaged. So they thought, right, they're all here. Let's hard engage. In they went. Na was mega. They didn't wait for it to wear
They
off.
did
It
not
was
respect the
close.
Mega Nard there.
I mean, it had almost worn off. If they'd waited 6 more seconds, it would have
Yeah.
been gone. At which point, they could have turned round and maybe won that fight. But they walked in, ate the Gnar ult, ate a 4-man Ezreal ult, which did a ridiculous amount of damage. At which point, Kalista just hopped through and rendered for kills and resets. So, just really well played by...
Just as we were talking about the burst, we saw the potential for burst from Zub getting side.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all you need. I mean, theirs is more difficult to execute because obviously Gnar has to be mega. Ezreal has to hit his ult. They've got Maokai for a 1-target lockdown, but that's it. Whereas obviously Tibbers can lock everyone down and you can very easily pass through them. But just if you can play it, it works just as well. And ZG just proved that they could. The gold is now within 800. 2 dragons to ZG, none on TG. Just really well played. Every time we underestimate ZG, they turn around as if they can hear me and go, "Shut up, we know what we're doing," and pull out a beautiful fight like that. So yeah, sorry once again to TG, beautifully played. Also, Threshbox went down around that fight, so when TG realised they'd messed up, there was no way out, even with the Sivir ulti, to disengage from that. And yeah, just a really good fight. And a dragon. So, and I'm really glad they didn't chase the Ari. It probably would have been a kill they could have secured, but why bother, right?
No, Ari still had charges on her ulti. She was in no way in a dangerous position there. There was really no need to chase her. It is a tasty kill to go for, but no, no need really.
Just 3-0. The
Yeah.
shutdown. I would have done it.
Oh, and that is the Ezreal damage that.
Yeah, Kallista's now finished her Hurricane and Bloodthirster, picking up, I don't know how many kills they got in that fight, but I think she at least got a couple. Yeah, so the damage
that
is here.
that was just Ezreal showing up his 2-item damage spike, just Luden's
Yeah.
Echo. with
Oh, the
Moonblade.
Tibbers just goes down on Thresh, just missed as the Kallista hopped away. She's so difficult to hit.
Flashes forward, would that be enough? No, not really. Sivir just blocks it. And
But Thresh is gonna go down.
Nope!
Oh,
Nope.
Kalista.
Welcome to the Kalista Thresh bot lane.
The Kallista Express.
Yeah.
Irelia, by the way, this whole time has been pushing top. I'm not sure ZG have noticed. Perhaps they just don't care. Does she have DP up? She does not. So, oh, there we go. The ult is
Oh,
down.
that's the first right there. This
Yeah.
might be a 3v5 cleanup here. Or
Kalista
am I
is
getting
gonna get
ahead of
down,
myself?
No, I think they're all right. They're
Well,
all
they
good.
traded 2 for 1, so it was still worth it in the end.
The thing is, they're buying time. They're chasing now to stop ZG's recall because ZG.
Yeah, Aurelia is
they-
pushing top lane.
She's still
This,
going.
this
and
is
if
a
they can't
situation
get
of
someone back-
meanwhile on top lane.
Yeah, and there it is. They can't back off though because the second they
Yeah.
start recalling,
Oh, this
in
is
goes the charm.
this
It's
is going to be
interrupt,
inhibitor
down goes
for
Gnar.
tactical gaming.
I think it will be, and just trying to pick up that kill to save the Gnar. Oh, beautifully played by Kalista. Triple
Yeah.
kill.
No,
double kill,
it was just a
yes.
double. Maokai secured
Maokai.
one of those kills.
So unfortunately now they're able to pick off. TG applying good pressure, and you could see the intent there, but they just committed a bit too heavily to try and ensure that Aurelia got that. But still really, really well played. TG got that kill, got that team fight before at Dragon, sorry. Got the kills, got the gold, and went, we can fight now. And sure enough, they barreled up mid lane, got a tower down, ate the Annie engaged, rotated well to bot lane to secure a secondary tower. Kallista's still there, by the way. But all the while, Aurelia went, yeah, okay, you keep going, and I'll just do my own thing down here. But both teams very well played, read the situation really well, and played to each other's strengths and weaknesses. There is a ward there, though, that Kallista's been spotted on, and Annie comes in with a bunch of story.
it will not be enough. That was just
Nowhere close.
Sweetheart
But,
Tiny throwing in
back.
the Care Bear Tibbers.
He cares so deeply.
Yeah.
The gold, though, even at this stage, 200 gold in it. That's
not-
pretty
not-
crazy.
At one point, Tactical Gaming were ahead by a margin of 9 kills. They kind of threw their advantage away in that dragon fight where the Nara and Ezreal ultis connected.
But I really do think that all boiled down to them not being patient enough to wait for the 6 seconds or so that Gnar had left on his ulti.
Yeah.
All they had to do was wait that out, and it would have been another convincing fight. and they just misplayed it.
They
love
just
this.
got itchy. They really
Yeah.
had their fingers on the trigger there and really wanted to fight. I know that feeling.
definitely did.
Trust me, I've been there. It is
Every
the level.
time.
Let's
Yeah.
win this right here, right now.
We could do this, take the dragon, win the game,
Yeah,
get all the girls.
yeah. Usually it is just a fool's dream there.
But no, it's very close. It's a great game. So, as we said before, though, whichever team does lose this will get another chance because there's a double elimination tournament, so they will move on to
Yeah,
play.
they will be
Can't
playing
think of
against Combi Gaming's Emperor Murloc in the losers
in
bracket.
the other
And
semi-final.
I suggest we not call it losers bracket anymore. I feel like the unfortunate misplaced bracket is more of a correct.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point, isn't it? 'Cause- and yeah. Damn, the ult comes in. Tibbers will stun Callista though, but I don't think they're willing to engage. Nar does not have ulti yet. He's still building up the
The
waiting
rage
for the
bar,
time.
the few,
Yeah.
the few bar. Technically just
close.
pulled back on it there. If he followed up on that 4-man Aniston, he might have been able to actually kill off Ezreal and Callista. They were getting kind of low. And we see
Not
things
sure
going down
why.
for purple side red buff. I don't know what that's about, if they have the timer or not.
They're talking vision. Dragon has just won.
Yeah.
It could be a win condition here for Zelo Gaming.
Yeah,
So far they've got 2 dragons.
they have
Why
two.
not try
They
and
need
get to
at
5?
least another 15 minutes to get there, so it's not that big of a deal. At this
TG
point.
are going to contest though. Nar's ult is
Yeah.
almost up.
It is something to
Ezreal's
respect.
is up as well. In fact, all the ultis bar Callistas are up. Ari has no ult, Annie has no Tibbers, Siva has no ult. TG are at a massive disadvantage if they choose to engage this. And Nar is about to go mega. Okay, the dragon is secured with a smite from Hecarim. But how many men are they going to lose for this? Cyber guy moves in on Callista.
Oh, this
Nope,
is
just flash the
simply
wall.
Aurelia doing work in the back line. That's the
Not
annoyance
enough,
of
right,
having
so-
an Aurelia.
Double
Ari
kill
gets
for Callista.
gets the
Everyone goes down bar Annie.
yeah,
And they can chase it this time.
no,
The
this is
objective
one
has
very
already
good
been lost.
Annie.
Yeah, and down she goes. That's a triple kill. They do have minions mid, they do have minions bot. They're going to stop to pick up the blue buff on Ezreal quickly while Nar pushes up.
At this point, Ezreal just becomes incredibly strong. I think he just gave up the blue buff for now to just shove in mid lane and try to get the inhib. I'm not sure
Yeah,
they
how
will
long
be
do they
able to
have?
get it. It's only 2
They've got
seconds on
3
Hecarim.
seconds on Hecarim. I
He
think
has
he's
home
burnt
guards.
Ghost.
He's coming
used
in.
Ghost as well.
Yeah,
Here
he
comes.
is going to one-shot someone. Or is he?
Oh, no,
the
he's gone
Nar,
mega.
Nar Mega right in time.
But he is going to get the pressure off on that mid tower, taking it down there to a very respectable 700 health.
He really should have gone for Ezreal there.
Yeah, but I mean, he would have just eat away. You don't want to miss and then not
No,
get
but
anything.
that's the thing. If at this point, Hecarim should have leveled up his E as a second skill. Oh no, he's actually put. Yeah, he's put 5 points in E, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
in
believe so.
devastating charge. So he has
Yeah.
the burst from home guards. He could have just went through the side portal between mid lane and bot lane and come from behind.
Yeah, but again, another beautiful fight there for ZG. Yes, they lost the dragon, but it was a 5-3 in their favour. And for the first time in 2 games, they had moved ahead of TG by 2,000 gold, which then got evened out by towers and various minion farming that
Yeah.
just happened down to 1k. But still, like, that's no
Yeah,
small
this
feat.
is the first time that Zell Gaming have had the gold lead in this game.
I think actually, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time that any team has had a gold lead on TG throughout this tournament.
Well, I mean, there could have been a situation where one team clears a ward in the level 1 and goes.
Fine, possibly, but any meaningful gold advantage
A meaningful gold lead. I think this is the first.
at this
we're
stage
seeing
of the game.
here.
30
Yeah.
minutes, right? This is you've had your time to make your mistakes. You've had your time to capitalize. And if at 30 minutes you move ahead of a team that has never been behind before, you're doing something right. And I think Zelo Gaming are definitely doing something right this game. They're playing all their power spikes well. They're team fighting excellently. The Callista, I think, is my MVP thus far this game. She's doing everything she needs to in team fights. Saved Thresh a number of times, which is normally Thresh's job to save the ADC. But yeah, just playing it all beautifully. Now, we've seen Nar wandering down towards the bot lane now. He does have TP up. Nope, he's changed his mind. RTG going to go for a Baron here. They forced it too early last time.
I don't
And they
think that's a
got
very
punished.
good call. Zealot Gaming just have a ton of counter initiation on this.
And the Ezreal ulti, if you're grouped up in Baron Pit, that thing is going to hit you for a lot of damage.
Yeah, there's going to be a need to send someone bot lane. What they really need to do here is just wait for Gnar to show up, time his Mega, wait for it to fall off, and then force the 5v4 fight.
Yeah,
and make him TP into the fight.
Without Mega anywhere close to ready. But he's managed to clear that. Oh no, he is about to go Mega.
Yeah, he has to go Mega while clearing, there's no way around it.
Yeah, there he goes.
In about 10 seconds is when
from TG.
Yeah, this is the time when TG want to actually engage in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, and off goes the ult from Gnar.
But Sivir just took a wee bit too much poke and is not feeling comfortable continuing without aim.
It would have been a really good display there if they could have spotted that and gone, this is their power. It's just worn off. Let's go get them, boys. But just missed it. Zilla Gaming still 700 gold ahead, although the gold lead is obviously dropping a bit. They're just shoving in the waves here. They've got the Gnar split pushing bot moving up to join his team now. Irelia is top. Irelia does have teleports, so does Gnar, so they can afford to stay in these lanes a little bit longer. Although I think ZG will possibly be a little bit more cautious of the Irelia this time after the amount of objectives that she got the last time they ignored her and let her split push. So ZG cautiously pushing up the mid lane. They spotted Hecarim on a sideward. They know he's alone, but they don't really want to engage. Gnar has just got.
They really are telegraphing all the movements on the map, and both teams are playing this dance perfectly.
Yeah, Aurelia's moving now to intercept the Gnar. If you're going to commit them both to a lane, that makes sense, right? Because that's who 2 TP is. And yeah, so Mega Gnar is now down. He has no way to stop the Aurelia from DPing. That would have been a time to engage something, but ZG have just backed off. They're not giving TG the opportunities that they did last game to get the engages off. And yeah, I think they've really learned
up much faster and are not sending people on unwarded sides of the jungle.
Nope.
It's actually a very controlled push from Zell Gaming here. They're doing everything right, and even though the gold is basically dead even, they are getting ahead as the game progresses. They have the.
Well, also look at where the gold is. Okay, for TG, Hecarim has 6 kills. A third of the kills.
and is very far ahead of his Maokai counterpart in CS as well.
Very far ahead. But then Maokai's ult provides a huge advantage to his team when it's up. Kalista 10 kills versus Sivas 3. Ezreal 4 kills to 5, so they're pretty even there. The only huge advantage, and even Gnar 1, 2, and 12 versus Aurelia's 1, 3, and 5, although about 50 CS behind. So, I mean, the gold is pretty even.
Except for AD carry.
Apart from the ADCs. Because the jungler can still use his ulti for the damage reduction, and we're going to see another dragon fight come in, and it's going to get picked up. How far?
Fresh gets on it. Gets the
out of the Ezreal ult. So they're going to lose that damage, and I'm not sure if they can. So Chubby's going to die to an ignite. Gnar's still trying to do work, but can't really kite the Sivir. Kalista is up there trying to battle an Aurelia who's pretty low, but yeah, just they're not going to be able to do anything. I think
Pony is going to be able to clean this up. Seems. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's not enough. And Kalista is just going to have to run away. The Gnar ulti was beautiful, really, really, really beautiful. Unfortunately, it swept 3 of them out of the Ezreal ult, and in all the other fights, the Ezreal ult has been the huge burst of damage that we need for ZG to secure it, right? Just maybe a miscommunication, or both of them going, right, I can hit a lot of people with this ult right now. And just sadly, both of them going for the same shot, and Gnar pulling the trigger first, and unfortunately, preventing a lot of ZG's damage from connecting. I don't think that Ezreal hit anyone, possibly one person, and ZG are now behind in gold as a result. So ZG just, I wouldn't say they played that team fight better than they have in the past. I just think that ZG, through very minor misplays, unfortunately lost a lot of their damage potential.
Yeah, it's just Ezreal went down very quickly and didn't hit the ulti. Even though one thing went very well for them, Thresh managed to get a hook between 3 people onto Ahri as she spirit rushed into the composition. That was a very big thing for them, as Ahri actually has a lot of a lot of damage at this point, and she can just
Yep.
solo out a squishy.
Just a very minor misplay. I wouldn't even call it a misplay, just an unfortunate occurrence there of ults not stacking up. Zero Gaming putting in some walls, but they have burnt the Righteous Glory and they're going for this Ezreal. But they're not going to be able to. They have.
Oh, they will kill him.
I thought he was going to get away from that. He just turned to cast an ability though and got cleaned up. So TG now without the Ezreal have an opportunity here to go for the Baron. Thresh landing a hook on Hecarim and
Gar
going.
has no
they want
TP.
you.
They might want to force this right now, although he showed mid lane and he's desperately trying to get his rage up.
Yeah, although he's got none at all. He's still on the cooldown from the last time. They are not going to go for the Baron. They're still pretty low. Sivir and Annie both at half health. Not something you really want to be risking.
They really just don't want to get flanked by this composition. If they get flanked by a Thresh Maokai Gnar, just add a damage dealer to those three and you have a cleanup right there.
And I tell you what, you have that damage dealer in Callista.
Exactly, especially given that she has double lifesteal at this point. She is actually incredibly tanky because of that. If you don't
Double
single her out
lifesteal.
at the beginning of the fight, she is going to clean up.
Yeah, unless you can burst her down in that initial engage, she's going to position herself into such a place that you can't get her. And we've seen it fight and fight again. She's playing beautifully in terms of not giving them an opportunity to burst her down. And then just dancing around the edges and securing those kills. This may be the IE for Callista, unless she's going to finish Last Whisper first, so she's just picked up the Last Whisper. Massive damage spike for them. Obviously, both Irelia and Hecarim have Randuin's. Hecarim also has a Frozen Heart. Ari is now building the Seeker's Arm Guard. Annie is the only one, Annie and Sivir, the only two without armor. So, I mean, she got the Last Whisper to help with the damage on the other three. I think CG at this point, although they're 2.5k, 2k behind, should still be looking for fights. I think if they can engage, Hecarim's about to show top or on that ward for them.
If they can single out someone for Ezreal Burst to take down, this is going to be a very, very easy win for ZG. They just need to find that one engagement where someone just drops their attention for a second and gets shot out by Ezreal.
That's what both teams are looking for at this stage, though. They're both just looking for an opportunity, a mistake, and they're not finding it. And that shows the caliber of the teams that are involved in this at the minute, right? They're both playing so well and so conservatively, but they're not afraid to pull the trigger when they see the opening. It's just lack of openings that have led to the stalemate we're seeing. Look at the
damage to Larry. That was just one W.
50%. Did he not connect to Q as well?
No. I think it was just W coming through the minions.
I think I saw the Luden spark, which only goes off the Q.
No, it goes on W. It goes on any spellcast.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of damage then. Now, Irelia is split pushing bot, does not have TP. Top lane is pushing for TG, but no, she's going to have to recall, and I think ZG are actually...
Yeah, this was a bit of a blunder. Zelgaming are getting a free inhibitor here.
Just a little bit of poke on Ari, made a recall,
They
and then...
could have turned on this pony there and just singled him out. They have the burst with Ezreal and...
You know, I think what they've seen the waves pushing in, right? They know top.
Yeah, they know that they have to deal with this. They don't want to deal with the counter Baron thing. Ezreal will clean bot lane.
Yeah.
And then they just